Access to paid family and medical leave is a benefit for workers in D.C., but for most people around the country, it is far from a reality. And that is why a group of caregivers is meeting up in D.C. tonight to advocate for that change.
Jess Arnold is with us now, and you met with some of them, Jess, and it's surprising how many states do not have laws on the books for this important job. It's actually, especially if you're a family member, the most important job.
Right, and you never know when you're going to have to become one. Right, so it's especially surprising, as you said, when you take a look at this map from the Department of Labor. It's on your screen now. Now, all of those, that white space, the states that are filled in with white, means that this law is not on the books. Maryland does have one, but their paid family and medical leave law goes into effect July 2026. And in Virginia, it is not mandated for employers. But as we talked about, you really don't know when you're going to have to become an instant caregiver and really need that time off, which is why a group of caregivers connected through the organization called Family Values at Work are coming together at the MLK Library tonight at 6 p.m. in D.C. to share their experiences. They hope that through their stories, they can push more states to codify paid family leave, as well as the federal government. Now, one of tonight's storytellers is Tony Iovino. His brother and sister-in-laws got into a horrible car crash less than 2 years ago, which killed his brother-in-law and left his then pregnant sister-in-law to care for her 2-year-old son and unborn child as she tried to recover. Now, that baby did survive as well. Tony did have access, though, to paid leave, so he was able to take time off and care for them, and now plays a huge role in their lives today.
One thing that became apparent for me real quick was in my big, entire awesome Michigan family, I was the only one who had access to a paid leave program. My wife works for another nonprofit, but we have farmers, we have teachers, we have CNAs. There's not a federal policy, there's not a state policy here in my state of Michigan that would cover them, or something local like that. So while everyone, of course, rushed and did everything that they could to try to take care of this, reality was also there. And I think that sucks. It really does.
Yeah, I like how bluntly he says it. It just sucks. I mean, there's no other way to put it, which is why Family Values at Work has been advocating for a change in policies across states, again, as I mentioned, as well as on a federal level, and they really have been making an impact gradually city to city.
Well, it just seems like the decent thing to do for working people. What could the opposition be here?
Yeah, well, we hear, from those who are against it, saying that it's a really high cost for employers who have to buy this insurance to provide it for their employees. Some say that it'll make people, not have an attachment to work, they call it. Some people say it could have a disparate impact on women because they often become the caregivers. Some, of course, could argue the opposite point with that, with not having access to that leave, but that is some of what we hear in terms of those people who are opposing it.
Yeah.
I wonder what they would think if they were the ones who had to
situation.
Do it.
Yes.
Look, I get it. Money runs things in business, but all right, Jess, what a great light to shine on this important issue. Thank you.